今、黄金のマスクがよみがえる。パーソナルワークステーション X68000。
Hey everybody, welcome back to VideoMeso Techno series on my favorite Sharp X68000 games, and today we're playing Reinforcer by Zanesoft, released in 1990. And if you've never heard of this game before, I would not be surprised. I'm assuming of all the games on this playlist, this is going to be the one that surprises people the most. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined to want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But from the intro to Reinforcer all the way through to the gameplay, this is a very unique, very interesting, and very difficult and engrossing game that I absolutely love. It has so much charm, so much flair, and it has big Hotline Miami vibes, even though this game came out a very long time before that. The gameplay is very simple. You're dropped into a level with a little bit of story that of course we can't understand. And from here, it is just run and gun action. We have a whole selection of different weapons: an infinite ammo machine gun, hand missiles, which is just a rocket launcher, a laser gun, hand grenades, and a lightning gun, which is just basically a special attack. You get a massive bulletproof vest when you start, you have a lot of life, and you just run through this office building on an absolute rampage, mowing down any of the opponents in front of you. And if you've never played Hotline Miami before, look it up, because this game just feels like the devs of that game decided to play Reinforcer one day and thought, hey, this is a great genre, maybe we should modernize it. And that's not a knock on Hotline Miami whatsoever. It's one of my favorite kind of games of that genre of all time. But I will say right off the top, Reinforcer is a difficult game. Sure, you have a big bulletproof vest that soaks up damage, and sure, you can refill it in the levels, but I've never seen a life up in this game, and if you die, that's it. It's back to the beginning of the level. And considering some levels will take 4, 5, 6 minutes to complete, death has real consequences in this game. And as far as the graphics are concerned, they are perfect for what they need to be. It's not the prettiest or the most detailed Sharp X68000 game you've ever seen, but it runs smoothly and it gives you a really good sense of scale, and that top-down kind of pseudo third-person view that looks like it's slightly at an angle really does work for the overall gameplay. And you'll see as we run in here into this little area, you might find some power-ups here. We can get that bulletproof vest back down to 0% damage. Now there's 4 floors in this first level, and each one has a bomb set on it. You need to defuse all 4 bombs before the timer runs out, so you are definitely trying to hurry up through this game. The strategy is kill the enemies that you need to kill, grab the power-ups that you need to grab, but you can totally skip entire rooms and try to avoid combat if you don't feel like that's the direction to go. Because you will see on the bottom right hand corner, you do get a little bit of a hot map. It's going to show you where the bomb is in each area, but getting there can be a little maze-like, and sometimes you need to go in the wrong direction to get on the right path. But just running through this game, using all the weapons, mowing all the enemies down, and figuring out the best way to move to avoid taking too much damage is so much of the strategy within Reinforcer. Every level plays the same every time you play it, so if you memorize where enemies are going to be, memorize the overall floor layout, you start getting better at this game very quickly. And this is one of the best games, I think, for a control pad on the 68000. It just 100% works. And that's why I love this game so much. It feels totally unique, and unlike a lot of what's on the Sharp X68000, what we've been showing in videos, and it also feels like a genre that I wish we could see a little bit more of. And this hallway right here is just absolutely a choke point kill zone. It is going to force you to take damage pretty much every time you walk through it. But this is just one of those games, and I think Sharp X68000, I think Reinforcer, even though it's not going to pretty much show up on any list of the best Sharp X68000 games you could look up. Maybe if it's the top 100 you might see it, but if it's top 10 or top 20, this game is definitely not going to make the list, which is really disappointing to me, because I would put this in my top 25 favorite Sharp X68000 games of all time. And you'll see we skipped up to the second floor. Sometimes getting the floors out of order can be a better strategy, just depending on what you want to do. But you'll see here, the more we go up on the floors, the harder the game gets. So let's move over to the laser gun. Some enemies take a single bullet to kill, some enemies take multiple bullets to kill. Sometimes it's better to use the more overpowered weapons, but you are going to encounter bosses in all of the levels as well, so you don't want to exhaust the ammunition on your best weaponry before you go any further. And I will say this game has a very unique and interesting soundtrack, so go ahead and listen for 45 seconds and I'll be right back. I really do like the music in this game, but it sounds way too cheery and optimistic for what's amounting to a rampage through an office building. This could totally be a die-hard game if you wanted it to, and it definitely wouldn't have the musical match in the soundtrack. I will give you a listen to a little bit later on because it does change in tone, but sometimes you're going to be wondering why you feel so cheery running through this office building trying to defuse these bombs here, and you'll see we found something very big in that room, and that is going to be where the bomb is. But pretty much every bomb is going to be protected by some sort of actual thing that you need to fight. And I will say the intro to this game, which comes on its own disc, that's how big it is very interesting, very uniquely designed, and has a lot of good and fun art. This is definitely seeming like it's part Predator, so it's like Die Hard mixed with Predator, even though it's its own complete game. Those are just the vibes I get, but this little scan here of this robot face is both creepy and interesting at the same time. But as we continue on through our run in Reinforcer, and now we're trying to figure out the best way to get around the world, and this is where the real fun comes in, trying to find the right path, because some paths are just going to lead you to enemies that are going to soak up that bulletproof vest damage, they're going to cause you to use more of your ammo, and then they're going to send you back into the world to try to go on the right path. And that's the thing, you don't get a map, you just get a little blue icon showing you where the bomb is, and a red icon to show you where you are in the stage. So sometimes, again, going away from where you think you need to go is going to be the move, and sometimes going down someplace like this is just going to get you a little bit more weaponry, but you're going to take some damage. There's a real risk versus reward payoff in this game, and you need to decide when you want to actually go out of your way to try to find more power-ups versus when you actually want to stay on the path and try to get to that bomb quicker. Because finally we got down to the area we need to be, a few more enemies, and we're going to go into the first boss fight, which is going to be extremely difficult. I'm just going to run this from start to finish so you get a sense of what Reinforcer truly is like. We came in with 55% body damage on that bulletproof vest and 0% on the actual player. Now, using all of our best weaponry, the only thing we need to do is to try to kill this tank right here. And I will tell you, it is exceedingly hard. You are going to restart this level time and time again until you get better and learn all the patterns. You want to save up your weapons, you want to save up your ammo to try to get further into this game, but you are going to die a lot. But you're going to have a ton of fun when you're dying, and that's all that really matters. Running through this game is the same way as running through Hotline Miami. A level might take you 5, 6, 7, 8 times to complete, but you want to instantaneously run back in and try it over and over again. But at least the boss areas have music that makes contextual sense, so listen and I'll be right back. At least it's not super cheery. The soundtrack, while good, doesn't fit the game, but the game fits me. I absolutely love this game, even if I'm going to die here in the first level. It's so unique even for the Sharp X68000, and that's why Reinforcer is one of my favorite games. If you've heard of it before, if you've played it, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think, but otherwise, if you've never played it, definitely give it a go. Maybe you won't love it, maybe you'll love it, maybe you'll die, maybe you won't, but it is worth your time checking out. Short of that, I'll have more X68000 games next week, and I'll have videos throughout the week, but we are done. Bye-bye.